Welcome to Elevate Pod, where we elevate your mindset, inspire your spirit, and ignite your leadership journey. This podcast is brought to you by Elevate Leadership Services. My name is Pearl.
And I'm Chigwechungu.
We are the co-founders of Elevate Leadership Services and the hosts of Elevate Pod. The Elevate Pod is dedicated to inspiring and empowering listeners with a focus on minorities and immigrants. We offer valuable tools, resources, and pathways to foster personal and professional development.
We are honored to interview Erica Breland, who will share her journey, her thoughts, her experiences on the plight of the businesswoman. Her courage is not loud, but it is consistent. The plight shaped her, but the vision sustained her. Many businesses don't begin with a business plan. They begin with passion, purpose, and a desire to save. And no handbook prepares you for the emotional labor that follows, especially as a businesswoman. Building while caregiving, leading and creating paths where none existed before requires focus, resilience, and hard work. This is not a conversation about struggle for the sake of struggle. It is about truth. It is about cause of purpose-driven work and the quiet strength required to build something that saves others, still honors who you are. Erica Insights would touch on the emotional and practical challenges of building a business rooted in passion and purpose. Explore themes of resilience and significance and the essential balance between personal and professional commitments. And we hope this discussion will serve as a valuable source of inspiration and guidance for those navigating similar paths. But let me give you the rich bio of Erica herself before we start diving into our discussions. Erica is the founder, owner, and the heart behind Erica Cookie Co., a brand built on passion. She fell in love with cookies and the art of decorating when she was still working in the corporate world. She found watching cookie decorating video on Instagram so soothing and relaxing. The cookie video she watched consistently led her to a thought that became her passion and to a dream that became reality. With this dream, the passion, Erica Cookie Co. was founded in 2019 and has been decorating cookies ever since. She is proud of the business she founded, the community she has created, and that she serves so passionately. In May of 2022, she opened her very first storefront in the Old Town Galt. In 2024, Erica Cookie Co. was nominated and received the Galt's Chamber prestigious Business of the Year and People's Choice Award. Erica Cookie Co. is a proud member of the BOOT, which is Business of Old Town, and sits on the board of the Galt's Chamber. From the very beginning, Erica Cookie Co. has been the proud sponsor of numerous athletic clubs, raffles, donations, city events, and continues to do so proudly. As a businesswoman, Erica understands the realities of building from the ground up, balancing vision with responsibility, creativity with consistency, and ambition with heart. Every recipe reflects her dedication to craftsmanship, thoughtful ingredients, and the joy that comes from making others feel seen, valued, and celebrated. Erica thanks her best customers, her friends, and family for the love and the support to the dream she made a business reality. Erica is also appreciated by her customer because of the touch of great service that she provides to all. Erica is a wonderful wife and a mother of amazing 3 children. Through Erica Cookie Call, she hopes to inspire others to pursue their passion boldly, support small business locally, and savor life's simple, sweet moments. And we hope you'll join and follow her on the cookie adventure. So, Erica, do you have anything to say or to add to
Wow.
your bio?
I mean, I could listen to you talk all day, Chipway. That was beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, it's you. It's just we are reflecting who you are, and this is the value of this podcast: is for us to at least bring you so that you can share this information with other people. Over to you, Pearl.
Thank you again for joining us today. The plight of a businesswoman is not weakness, it is weight. It is the weight of being underestimated, yet overperforming. The weight of navigating systems not designed with her in mind. Many businesswomen, especially immigrant women, women of color, and first generation leaders, carry multiple identities into every boardroom, pitch meeting, and negotiation. They lead with excellence while constantly proving legitimacy. Yet within this plight lies power, power to innovate, power to lead with empathy shaped by lived experiences, the power to build communities, not just businesses. This episode is about naming the struggle so we can honor the strength. It's about reminding every businesswoman listening to this that you are not alone. So let's dive in. So, Erica, can you share your personal journey into entrepreneurship? What motivated you to start your own business?
Well, I I have 2 older children, and then I decided to have another one years later. Um, and then when I had that baby, I decided that I wanted to stay home. And I was working in the medical field at that time, and I decided that I think I want to be home if we're going to have a baby. And quickly after I went back, I had my daughter in August. I, before that, like Chibwe mentioned, I would watch videos. It just came on my Instagram, on my social media. I saw somebody decorating cookies, and I just thought, wow, that is so, like, who would have thought a cookie? And I just kind of fell in love with that art. And when I would come home after a long day, I would watch those videos. And so that's just kind of how I would decompress. I started following people that were decorating. Just started looking into it a little bit more. And then we had our baby. I decided in August of 2018. I went back to work in October of 2018, put my notice in December, made my very first cookie February of 2019, and I had my business license by April. That's how fast it just, I wanted to try it. I wanted to figure it out. And I don't know why. Before that, I was a teacher. I used to be in banking. I used to be all of these different things. And, you just have to try. And my husband, I remember he was traveling at that time, which was one of the reasons why I decided to stay home. He had a job where he would travel all the time. And I, we both felt like we needed to have a presence home more with the kids. And yeah, I remember he came in from a flight and I said, "Look what I made. Look what I made." I didn't even let him put his bags down. I'm like, "Look what I did." And he's like, "Okay, like, oh, okay." And I was like, "I'm gonna sell them." He's like, "For money?" And I'm like, "Yes, I found what I want to do." And it truly was that quick of a decision for me. In hindsight, if I'm being completely honest, I really think at that time I was going through like some postpartum, and I just felt like I needed to connect somewhere. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I leaned into cookies, and here we are all these
Today.
years later. Yeah.
Wow. You know
Wow.
what children can make you do? Change course for the
Yes.
better. So at least you can thank her that, you know what? You made it possible for me to become an entrepreneur
Yes,
and a
she
wonderful
did.
businesswoman. So that's wonderful. Yeah.
I would have never thought that I could do something like that, especially with such a good job, and to just walk away from it. It would have had to take something for me to do that. And
Correct. Correct.
yes.
And children did that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was a bold decision, to be honest, but I think it's a decision that many people fail to make, and sometimes we sacrifice. So for you, family was not going to be sacrificed, and therefore you had to make both of you and an agreement between you and your husband. I think made it possible because of that support for you to stay home. Yeah. But if I can pivot to another question, is we all go through challenges when we are starting a business. So I would
Yes.
like to know what specific challenges you have faced at the beginning of your entrepreneurship business or journey, and how did you actually overcome some of those challenges? Because you jumped in with your all your feet in, but what
Mhm.
challenges and how did you overcome them?
Despite the obvious challenges of making sure we had a business license, making sure we had the food regulation licenses put together, and taxes and all of that stuff, those are the obvious things. And those were challenging. I have no background with running a business, owning a business, let alone a food business. So those were the obvious challenges. But some of the other challenges when you are a small business owner is you don't realize how much you have to rely on social media, and you become the content. You become the personal shopper and the buyer. You become the HR. You become all of those things. You have to shop, you have to plan, you have to take photos and edit, and all of those things combined. It was very challenging trying to find, like there are no days off. When you work for yourself and you do love what you do, you're constantly working a little bit every day. And I don't think people realize, if you don't have something that you love that much, or something that you are trying to pursue, how much of yourself has to go into that. That was a huge challenge. I had no idea. And my business is solely run pretty much through social media and word of mouth. So I have to have a constant presence with social media. Otherwise, my customers don't know how to find me, what I'm selling, what's coming up, where we'll be. So,
Yeah. So I
Wow.
think you talked about social media. Maybe let me follow up on that. So
mhm.
how good were you with social media before you started? Yes, because and to be honest, yes, it does depend on social media. But how good were you, and what I think there's also that hump that you had to cross in order to be very comfortable with it.
Mhm. Aside from the regular posting our kids and a Christmas post, I wasn't familiar. I used social media a lot to connect with family that was out of town, or connect with friends, and like everybody else does. So to have to use it in the way that I needed to run my business was completely new for me. Putting my face on camera is not something that I would typically usually do. Talking with an audience and engaging with customers and trying to build that personal relationship. And then there's if you're not posting every day, if you're not connecting, you do have to play a social media game. And if you
Yes.
don't play it, you fall out of that algorithm. And taking breaks is not something that you can do because it does affect you. You have to post something every day. If you want to take a break, you have to line up your content and you have to schedule it because it is a game, unfortunately. And if you
Yes.
don't play it right, you fall out. And
Yes.
I've been the victim of that many times where I've had to kind of catch up and double post and,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I don't, social media became something completely different. It became my job.
Yes, it is a job. I think because there are so many people out there, and you have to market yourself, as you said.
Yes.
You are a human resource. You are a social media. You are a poster. You are a content creator. You are everything in one, and therefore you need to find time. So those those are hefty challenges for sure.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
also
Well,
raise a very significant point there. So you're running many different things at the same time, different demands, wearing different hats. You left your job so you could be with your kids. So how do you balance the demands of running a business with the personal life responsibilities? Like what struggles have you found? What strategies have you found effective for maintaining that balance?
Yeah. Well, what I've learned is balance is ongoing. It's not perfect. I am constantly trying to find that balance of work and home and family, and it's never going to be perfect. We actually did close our storefront in July of this year, or excuse me, last year, 2025, because it was a lot. Um, too much. And I was missing a lot with my family. And I think sometimes you have to just, it's okay to push pause, it's okay to pivot, and it's okay to find a new path, even with what you are doing. It doesn't always have to look how everybody thinks it should look. Your business is yours, and you get to decide how you want to pave that way for yourself. And that's something that I'm still learning is, you know what, this is my business. I get to choose how much I work, what I do, the conversations I have, the boards I get to sit on, the events I get to participate in. And I look at my calendar and I look at what I have going on and I decide what realistically I can do, because I think what's hard for me is I'm an all-in kind of person. I'm all in all the time. And if I'm going to be all in cookies, that means that my family is suffering
suffering.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm going to be all in with my business, or if all in with my family, then the
Absolutely.
business suffers a little bit. It's a give and take.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for almost 8 years and I am still trying to figure it out. But having a really supportive husband who comes in and helps alongside and knows how important this work is to me and what I do, I always say it's more than cookies. It's so much more than cookies for me. I mean, look at the conversations I get to have with you, smart, intelligent woman. I get to sit here and this is my job, and finding someone who sees that and who steps in to help me when I need the help or to support me, that's really important. So we're still working on the balance, but it's a give and take with the business and with the family.
Yeah. I think for me, it's the values that you hold. When you're talking about your business, what you're saying, it's not about you just going all the way to make every bit of money that you need, whilst
Mm-hmm.
the other part of the family, because once the family is sacrificed, everything else can go down. So that balance is very
Yes.
important, and I think the family has to have a buy-in. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy also to hear about how supportive your husband is.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a very big difference. I'm sure even your children, I think this has not only become your business, I'm sure this has become now a business that you lead with a family backbone behind you. And with that, I think you can do what you do, where you pause and say, okay, I'm pausing to see how we are going to move forward and move forward together. So it's wonderful to hear that. And I just hope many of us can do what you're doing, and many other people in business can do exactly at reflecting on how they move forward. Yes.
My three P's: my pause, my pivot, and try to find a path. And
Wow.
that's, yeah.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Three P's it is.
Please.
Three P's. And it helps because that allows you to step back, reflect in,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all the time. Yeah. I think when we started talking, I think you started the business on your own. So you don't have, do you have anybody who you go to who is a mentor? Because they may not be mentoring in the business that you do, but they can also be a role model in some other things so that they can allow you to decompress other than your family. So do you have any mentor in your life, and how have they impacted your approach in other things that you're doing, especially your business that is very core to
Mm-hmm.
what you do?
I don't have one specific person where I can say I modeled everything off that person. I look at people on social media and people that I admire, and people, I see their workflow, and I go to them and I ask questions. I call them my cookie coworkers, because I work alone
Mhm.
for the most part. So I call them my coworkers and I reach out and I'm like, you know what? I love what they're doing, or they had a sold out holiday, or I love how they're engaging with their community, or I love how they're engaging with their customers. I love how they're creating their content. And I kind of take a little bit from the people that I look up to and the people that I follow, working within the community, being a part of the chamber. I get to sit on a board with a whole bunch of different people and in all different types of business, doing all different types of things. And I think just, you know, taking a little bit from here and there. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I like to read a lot of books, so it's little bits here and there that I take and I'm like, you know what, I can use that. I can put that here. I can take that here. And I think that's how we've been able to create there's not a one size fits all.
Correct.
There's not one person that's going to do things exactly how you think or you want or you like. And that's the beauty of it. You get to pick and pull and say, you know what? I need more of this in my life. I need more of this in my business. I need
Mhm.
more of this in my home.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you're able to um, you know, put it all together and how you make it fit. You know what I
Correct.
mean? To make it
Correct.
fit for you.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, you just said something that takes me to the next question. Pulling from different people. So it sounds like networking has been or has played a huge role in your
Mhm.
success. So my next question is on networking. I know it is crucial for any
Mhm.
entrepreneur. So what methods have you used to build a supportive network? And what role has it played in your success?
I think attitude is everything, and having and mindset. And I have always had the mindset of community over competition, always. That has always been, I love networking with businesses and with people. I don't even have a business in Old Town anymore, but I still sit with them and I participate in all of the activities that they're doing, all the meetings. We've brought a lot to our town. And I think just building community. It's about community. I was born and raised in this town. So my heart, I have a very special place here. And the fact that I've been able to raise my family, build a business here and stay connected, it's really important to me. Um, but I think mindset of community over competition and working alongside different businesses on different things, being a part of the community and networking within it is really important. I could not be where I'm at today without having the community support and what we do. You know, doing the raffles, doing the donations, providing free cookies for this event or for that event, or just showing up and being there and having a presence for um, when other businesses have ribbon cuttings, when they have their grand openings, when there's mixers and meet and greets, and having a face. People know you, people see you, they want to work with you, being authentic. It's
Yes.
really important.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
said some interesting things, like on one of the previous questions that I asked, it's a give and take when you talk about balancing. It's about, giving your all here and maybe losing out on some. So you are always trying to find that balance, and you're trying to navigate balance between business and your personal life. Now, here we are talking about networking, balancing now, because that sounds like a lot to
Mm-hmm.
me, being present.
Yeah.
So being able to manage all of that and still be able to build a network.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you do that?
Ah, a supportive partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I, you know what? I'm thankful that my job allows me to have flexibility too. So I don't think, don't get, cookies is a lot of time. It is hours upon layers of work. And working on cookies and working on a set takes a lot of time. But I am so grateful that I have the flexibility to be like, you know what? I need to show up to this event today. So if that's pushing cookies and work back a little bit more, that's okay. Or, you know what, I need to show up for my daughter in this way, or my son this way, or we have a community event here. I really try to look at my calendar as a whole and be like, I can show up to this, but I can't show up to that.
Correct.
Or it's important for me to show up to this, so I need you to come on board with that. Um, and a lot of these things are things that I'm able to bring my family to if I need to. So
Mhm.
it really is an all-encompassing, everything intertwines together. My business, my family, all of the things, it all flows together sometimes. And the times that I can't, there are times where I'm like, oh my gosh, December, I worked myself to the bone. I worked every single day from Halloween all the way up until December 19th when my daughter went on break. Every single day I worked, but we still prioritize certain things. And now I get to have, a month off and be
Wow.
present with my family. So it is a give and take. Like I
Excellent.
said, it's that give and take. And this is going to be busy, but you know what? We're going to have this time in January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Very
Yeah.
well said. I like
Yeah.
that you said it's an ongoing, never-ending process. So you're constantly trying to find
Constantly.
that
Balance.
balance. Yeah.
Mhm.
And my
Yeah.
family knows, my husband knows, he tells everybody, come November, I'm not going to see my wife until January. I know.
But yeah,
No.
uh, at least that's wonderful because he knows and he's supportive, and I think that's what is very important, especially in the business that can be so demanding that the one you are in, because your customer, you have to continue satisfying your customer, and your customer are your best, right? So they trust you, they love your cookies, they come for you. So you need to make sure that you are there for them as well. But one of the things that I liked about your points when you're talking about mentorship, also the demands, you talked about it's about collaboration, not competition.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the world could be just like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
if we can collaborate, it's about the business. If I can't save this client, can I give it to somebody else who is able
Yes.
to do that? And with that, you're giving each other those clients. When I can't fulfill their requests, I have another partner that, and you're spreading it. And I think you become a very big collaborative community that saves, but that each and everyone is able to
Mm-hmm.
get what you need. And thank you. I think we need more
Mm-hmm.
business people like that. Yes. And
I have, sorry,
no, go
I was
ahead.
just going to say, I have built the most beautiful friendships
Mm-hmm,
and connections with
mm-hmm,
people that do the same thing that I do. And you
mm-hmm,
would think that would be a competitive, but it's
mm-hmm,
not. It's community. It's,
mm-hmm,
we, and the business that I do, I work alone. I have an
Mhm.
assistant that helps me,
Mhm.
every now and again when I need it. But
Mhm.
for the most part, I work alone and it gets heavy
Mhm.
sometimes when
Mhm.
you're doing all of the things and
Mhm.
there's a lot of moving parts to any business. And no one would have ever thought cookies would be so crazy and so hectic and
Mhm.
so busy, but it
Mhm.
is. And you know what the beauty of it is for me is sometimes when I am having a hard time, I feel like nobody gets it. And I get to call that person or send her a voice text and be like, you know what? I had a really bad day. And I know you get it because you do the same thing I do.
Correct.
And
Correct.
it's nice. It's not just the community it's not a competitive part, it's a community thing. You
Correct.
know,
Correct.
it's been such a beautiful thing. And I think those relationships can be beautiful. They don't have
Mhm.
to be competitive. It
No.
is a
No.
collaborative, let's work together, let's help each other out.
Yes, I think we all have to have that mindset. And if we do, this world will be a better place. But
Mhm.
before, I think, because we're almost running out of time, I
Sorry.
think we would like you to share at least one success story from your business that really highlights your resilience or your creativity in overcoming the barriers, because you have it. We want our audience to hear about it.
Yeah. So we in 2022 we opened our storefront. That was such an exciting time for us. We What it was we needed a bigger space to work out of. We got so busy with our customers and we would make extra cookies for holidays and they would be lined up out our door down the street for those extra cookies. And we just thought, you know what? I think we need a space,
Mhm.
not to have an everyday shop, but to have a place to work out of, have the separation of home and work, and then sell the extra cookies that we have. And we were offered this space in Old Town. They reached out to us a few times to see if we would be interested, and I told my husband, "Let's just go look. Let's just go peek. We can always say no. It doesn't have to be a thing." And the moment I walked in, I mean, my husband saw all the bugs and all the dust and all the work, and I saw what it could be and what we could turn it into.
I love
And
that.
he already knew. He's
Effective.
like, "We're getting the shop, Paul." I'm like, "Yes, we are getting the shop. This is going to be our home." Um, and it was a huge success. It was beautiful and great. And yes, we had our highs and our lows with the economy, how every business struggles. But I think you can't look at us choosing to walk away from the shop. It was a transition, it wasn't a failure. And I
Mhm.
have to look at it that way.
Wonderful,
Um,
wonderful.
we were succeeding in so many different things with the shop, but I felt like I was failing in so many areas as a mom and as a wife and as a person. Um, when you have a storefront, you're all in. There's
Yes,
no if. There's
yes.
no question. You have to be all in. You have overhead, you have people that rely on you, and it snowballed into something completely different
Mhm.
than what we had originally set out for it to be. And I still consider that a success. Um, Even now, we chose to walk away from that. I chose to be more in a soft business era. I think there's time for hustle and there's time for grit and there's times to be all in,
Mhm.
but there's also times to take a step back and say, you know what, this isn't serving me in the way that it needs to.
Mhm.
And that's okay too. And
Yes,
it's okay to lean into the softer side and it's okay to pivot and pause and
yes.
find a new path for your business. And I think the shop is one of our biggest successes, but the fact that we have been able to sustain our customer base
Mhm.
and sustain our name within the community and still show up for, you know, being a member on the boards and serve the community in that way, those are the true successes for me. Having a storefront will always be a dream come true, but being able to serve my community in a different capacity is even more valuable to me. And the fact that I
Yes.
get to serve my family fully and be here and be present, that that's the true success.
Wonderful. When I see you talk about this, so your success, I think it is in sort of instilled in these other values about how can I serve my community effectively while saving my family totally.
Mm-hmm.
This too, as you said, if you go all in, something is going to snap, something loses.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, especially now at the moment, you were successful. And I think I love the way you look at success. You're not looking at, I left the shop as a downside. You're looking at, it served a purpose for
Mm-hmm.
that particular time. And therefore,
Mm-hmm.
the purpose was met. And now it's time to retreat and be able to serve a wider purpose that actually is going to satisfy both ends without actually
Yeah.
choosing to do that. I admire you.
No.
I really love what you're doing, but also because you're always sort of introspecting self. You're always looking at how the people around you and the people you're serving are being served. So you have a heart of service and a heart of collaboration.
Thank
So go
you.
again, Erica. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. I think we may have one more last question, my dear.
Okay, all
All right.
right. So, what advice would you give to other women? I know there's so many women out there with some brilliant ideas of starting their own businesses, but may feel hesitant due to potential challenges, especially immigrant women, minorities, just due to so many challenges that we may face out there, systematic, self-imposed, whatever it is. What advice would you give to someone considering joining the journey of entrepreneurship?
I would say know your why and know why you're starting. Understand what that is truly, and then just start. I would say just start. Start doing research. Start having conversations with people. Start having looking to people that are in that um, niche of what you're trying to do, and just see in different ways how you can serve yourself with that. And yeah, I would just say you don't have to have a lot to start. You just have to have the desire to want to start. And I would just say start building some conversations and community and network with like-minded people that are maybe in that right what it is that you're wanting to do, and build from there.
So move.
Move. Gotta move.
Do something.
Can't be afraid. Yes.
Take the
Plan.
first
I
step.
think plan and do something. Plan little, do something.
Plan. Yes, you have to
Thank
have a
you.
plan. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. No, Erica, this is. I think I wish we had all the time in the world
I
because
know.
there's so much that you have not even touched. But I just wish, but you will have you another time. And maybe you can talk about, before we even go, your cookies. I think, what type of cookies do you serve, maybe so that people can be enticed before we go
Yes.
and close it.
So I make custom decorated cookies for all events, for weddings, for birthday parties, for grand openings, for all of the things. I can print your logo. I can print a business card on a cookie for you to advertise. We do a lot of business corporate events. Um, and then just down to your regular chocolate chip cookies. We do it all. So you can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram. We're Erica's Cookie Co. And if you would like to put in an order, you can go to our website. It's ericascookieco.com, or you can send me an email at ericascookieco@gmail.com.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. I've seen those cookies. They look delicious. I don't take a lot of cookies because of my sugar content, my sugar
Yeah.
levels, but I've seen them and They look awesome. And if you go to their website, you even see what they look like, actually. Exactly what you see there is exactly what you're going to see, maybe even better. So, yeah.
Thank you.
All
Thank you so
right.
much.
You're welcome. So as we close today's episode, let's remember that every dream comes with its own challenges, but how we face them creates empowerment.
Yes.
Erica's journey reminds us that many businesses begin with a passion and a commitment to save others, like what she has been doing. To every woman pursuing her dream, your journey matters and your path inspires others. Let's honor the passion that drives us and the legacy we are going to build together. Thank you, Erica, for joining us and just adding value to our audience. That includes the minority women as well as the immigrant women and women of color.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue to support one another as you do, because you are really keen on collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Let's believe in ourselves and let's encourage each other so that we can continue to forge those paths for success in any way that we want to. Your story, Erica, is still unfolding. And for you, the audience, it's also still unfolding. And the world is eager to see what you can continue to create next. So until next time, keep dreaming, keep creating, and keep believing in you, because you have so much to offer this world.
Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it. And it was such an honor to be able to speak with both of you and be here and just share a little bit about me and my business and how we got started.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much again for joining us today. Ricky Rogers says strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. The plight of a businesswoman should never be carried alone, as we have heard today. Let us normalize collaboration over competition, rest over burnout, and support over silence. When women are supported, businesses and communities thrive. One day, your story will become someone else's survival guide. The struggle you're navigating today will inspire courage in someone who's watching, maybe quietly. Keep building with purpose, keep leading with heart. Your legacy is already in motion. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you for joining us on this journey to elevate and inspire. Until next time, lead with purpose and grow with passion.
Yay!
Thank